Welcome to Blue Talks.
Abundance consciousness. What is it? Why is entrepreneurship the fastest way there? So, abundance consciousness, it's a frequency. It's a field. It's a feeling. It's a way of being that is basically the opposite of what we have been experiencing on this planet for a very long time. You know, scarcity, lack, competition, the dog-eat-dog world that we have been living in, where if one person has more, it's taking something away from someone who will then have less, right? It's that feeling of contraction instead of expansion and possibility. Who here has felt that kind of scarcity before, right? Of course. That's the world that we live in, where there is not enough time. Obviously, time is a limited resource. There's not enough, sometimes, knowledge, support, community, connection, and money. Who has felt like they don't have enough money at one time or another? Yeah, obviously, right? We have felt that lack. It's programmed into our world. It has been, at least. But the really cool thing is that right now there's a very large shift happening in the consciousness of the people of this world. And excitingly, entrepreneurs especially are a huge part of it. Entrepreneurship is that fastest path to the expansion and the possibility of abundance consciousness. It's not the easiest path, though. You've probably felt that before. Entrepreneurship will bring up all of your stuff. All of it. The beliefs, the feelings. Am I worthy of having a business, of people paying me for the things that I want to share? Can I even hold it? Is it gonna work? What am I doing here? And then there's also the business systems and structures that you have to learn to implement. It's a lot. The really cool part that I find right now is that we're divinely supported. We have teams, legions of beings who are cheering us on, and then there's also the community. People that are cheering you on, like all the beautiful souls in this room who want you to succeed, who are celebrating you. That exists. But there's also a consciousness on this planet, like the literal consciousness of the planet. Gaia, Mother Earth, Pachamama. She actually wants the entrepreneurs of this world, especially the spiritual ones, the ones who know that business, life, and the universe are so intertwined that they cannot be separated. She wants us to be wealthy, really wealthy. She's got our back. She wants us to have money and access to this frequency of abundance consciousness. I know that because I work with her. I have for a decade or two, and I've always felt her. You can feel her, right? That energy of nature that in our Western culture has been kind of ignored for the last while. I feel her, but I also talk to her. I have conversations with her, and I do have my psychic senses online, so I can also hear her talk back. And I can see her, and I've been working with her, with my clients, in groups, all kinds of things. And she wants us to have access to infinite abundance. You might be wondering why. Why does Gaia care if we have money? Like, that seems strange. I'm going to pose you some questions, and I want you to really feel into them. And I think that will explain. What would you do with $1 million? Most of us would probably pay some debt, maybe invest in our business. You couldn't buy a house, in Toronto at least, not for that, but you could put a down payment down. Maybe you'd give some away if you had some extra, right? But what would you do if I gave you $10 million? Breathe into that for a moment. $20 million. $50 million. Ooh, can you feel that shift? $100 million. It's yours right now. What would you do with it? $1 billion. I have goosebumps now from what you are all imagining. I can feel it. You would do amazing things. Oh my gosh. Everybody here has a different piece of the puzzle that they want to solve. They would want to create change, huge impact, and it would be all over the map. People would be focused on ending poverty, on making sure that everyone had enough to eat. People would be helping the children. Other people would be focused on the environment, the animals, literacy, women's rights. There would be people who would use that money to fund amazing new technologies, free energy projects, like unbelievable shifts and changes. And I bet none of you were thinking about the wars that you would start, the weapons that you would buy, the land that you would steal, or the resources that you would try to take from other people to create more wealth, right? That's why Gaia wants you to be wealthy. That's why Gaia wants spiritually inclined entrepreneurs to have lots and lots and lots of money, because you're the problem solvers. You're the ones that have the capacity to shift this planet faster than anything else. It's just going to take rewriting thousands and thousands of years of programming, especially for the spiritual entrepreneurs. You know, we've been running these programs as healers, teachers, that you should not charge for your spiritual gifts. No, 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 that would not be holy, that would not be godly, because money's the root of all evil, you know? We know that was a misquote, but that's what's in the collective consciousness, that you have to take a vow of poverty to be a spiritual person. When you're impoverished, when you don't have money, think about the words that we use to describe that. You're broke. You're tapped out. You know what's broken is the connection to the infinite flow of energy that is actually our birthright. It's actually available to us right now, in this instant. It's already here. And when you take that connection away from the people who have the most capacity to shift and change the world, you disempower them and you keep things as they are, right? But that is changing now. It's already changing. You're all a part of it. It's so exciting, the things we are going to do. You know, the first time I realized that I was not just playing in abundance consciousness, but I was living in it, was when I was looking at the rising prices of everything. Gas, housing, food, it's all shooting up. And my first thoughts were not, can I keep Disney Plus and Netflix? Where can I cut out, my spending? I didn't even think of how to limit myself. I thought, It's a good thing I can always make more money. I felt there was just the possibility of expansion, and I didn't think that I needed to shrink myself down to fit the circumstances. And then I did a little happy dance because I was like, yes, this is freedom to create. This is the freedom that I love. I love that feeling of freedom, and I celebrate it. And I love sharing that with people because it feels so good. And because I am on a mission with Gaia to create as much wealth and empowerment for spiritual entrepreneurs as possible, so that we can co-create that reality where all of you have the billions of dollars to do all of the things that you are going to do. So, I was teaching a masterclass called Elemental Prosperity. I love working with the elements. They represent our inner world as well as the outer world. Sort of this as within, so without, as above, so below, holographic universe vibe. And when you work with the elements, you get everything to be in harmony. You know how you have to have the feelings, but the beliefs are what are causing the feelings. You need to have the body coming with you. You need the physical structures and systems. You need the connection to spirit. And then you also need to take actions in order to create anything at all. You need to have all of these elements in harmony and balance. So in order to share some of these codes, I was teaching this elemental prosperity class, or I was planning on it, and in a meditation where I was just asking the earth, what should I bring forward? She goes, I'd actually like to co-host this with you. It's like, okay, why not? What am I going to say? No, Gaia, you can't help me with this. Like, we're literally in her right now, so obviously that was a yes. But we didn't actually talk about what was going to come through. I was in trust. We've worked together in the past so many times to create beautiful experiences. So I just let it be a mystery, so I would be surprised too. So what I did in the masterclass is what I always do, whether I'm in person or online and I'm facilitating a workshop. I create this bubble, this pocket outside of time and space where we can all meet and have this physical, tangible, visceral experience of feeling the energy. Because me just talking about it, that's cool, but why would you believe me? Right? If you have a physical, tangible, visceral experience in your body, you'll get it, right? So I created this sacred space and I brought us into a meditation, and I assumed we would connect with the elements and the earth. But in this space, the very first thing that came through that I got to narrate was the ancestors. They circled everyone, and the love that was pouring through them, and the pride, and the joy, and the excitement. We could feel it. It was palpable. People were crying because some of them, for the first time, were feeling connected instead of separate. They were feeling like they were not alone. That aloneness, that scarcity, that separation has been part of what has kept us disconnected from abundance. And so after the ancestors, we connected with the trees and the rocks and the animals and the oceans and the mycelial network of fungus that is all through the earth, which I'd never tapped into before. It was really cool. And people, again, tears, joy, connection, because we felt connected to each other and all of creation. And Gaia said, there you go. That's the first step to abundance consciousness. It's feeling the support and the connection to all of creation. You're not alone. You don't have to do it alone. None of us have to do this alone. On the second day, we connected to our highest selves and down to the earth and ran that energy through us to be connected between the cosmos and the earth. And we received information about our soul mission and about what we would do with the abundance and prosperity. And for a lot of people, they just got the vibes and they felt it and they were like, oh, wow. Actually, that's kind of big. It's kind of terrifying. Am I worthy? So we had to get the brain on board with what the soul was sharing. Because the mind level is the one that is programmed to go, no, you can't. When the soul is saying, no, you can, and you will. It's that mind level that has to come into alignment. And that's why we require all of the elements to be in that harmonious place. That is the foundation from which we can build our abundance and our creation and our vision. And we can take that and we can actually create responsibly. Because that's what's kind of been missing on this planet. Responsible creation. Now, sometimes we also have these feelings of guilt when we're an entrepreneur and we're going to make money and we're going to make lots of money and people are paying us money for doing what we love, and it's like, oh, but there are people who are starving. There are wars. There are so many problems on this planet. Why should I have wealth and abundance? You ever felt that kind of weird cognitive dissonance, the guilt? Yeah. It's a privilege to have a business, to have access to wealth. And with that comes great responsibility. So that is the thing. That is why you're being supported. It's because of what you are going to do. Because I felt you when you tapped into what you will do with that wealth. You are going to do good things. You are going to lift others up with you. So instead of hiding from this possibility and the responsibility, think about what we can create together. When you have that connection and support, don't think about doing it for yourself. We're doing it for all of humanity and for the earth and for every single being who is on this planet. Together, when we all tap into this field, it will lift us up faster than anything into the world that I know you and I can feel, that we are dreaming of. Yeah, it's available to us through creating wealth and abundance for ourselves first, and in the overflow for everyone else too. So, let this be your invitation. If you're feeling a little wobbly about wealth and making money and doing the things, connect with her yourself. Connect with the earth. Bring her wisdom forward. Tap into the frequency of abundance and creation and possibility that is all around us, all of the time. Call on the wisdom of the elements. Ask them for their guidance. Talk to them. Talk to the earth. Ask her to support you in your endeavors for the highest good of all. You are all going to create so much magic with your money. And I cannot wait to live in the world that we are creating together. Oh, it's so exciting. If you would like a little bit more information on how to work with those elements, what your fastest path to working with the earth is, what you're naturally good at, I do have a quiz on my website, joyevolution.com, where you can tap into your elemental abundance archetype and just get a little wisdom on how you can work with the elements in co-creation to do those things that you are here to do. And I'm so excited for you. Thank you.